unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TUBEBUDDY and level up your channel faster. We working. Oh, nah, say it ain't so. Bob Arum says that Devin Haney must do more, make himself relevant before getting Teofimo Lopez in the ring. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Before I get started, make sure you guys use my link, get ESPN Plus if you're interested. ESPN Plus, they offer a ton of original content, docuseries, and more. You can get it as a standalone app, or you can get the bundle, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, all three apps, one low price, $12.99. Also, TUBEBUDDY. Use my link for TUBEBUDDY if you have your own YouTube channel, any genre, doesn't matter. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to help level up my content. You can do the same. Now we're sitting over 200,000. It's a browser extension that I use daily when I do my uploads. So make sure you guys use my link, get TUBEBUDDY if you're serious about your channel. It takes money to make money. Now, Barbershop Conversations has an interview with Bob Arum. Very interesting things discussed. Bob Arum says, quote, "I'd like to see Devin Haney fight a recognized lightweight like Jorge Linares or someone like that," right? Saying he has to build up to get a Teofimo fight. In the same way that Ryan Garcia was tested against Luke Campbell, I'd like to see Haney get tested. If he comes through and the numbers align, Haney would be great against Ryan Garcia of Golden Boy or Haney Teofimo, which is weird because Ryan Garcia is a Golden Boy fighter. So why is top ranked, promoter Bob Arum recommending that Devin fight Ryan Garcia? Haney, and this doesn't demean him, Haney is really untested. So let's put him in a real test, and if he passes the test, it would be a very desirable partner either for Teofimo or Ryan Garcia. Once again, why do you have a top-ranked fighter with the champion in the same division that Devin Haney is a champion, and he's telling him to maybe fight his guy after he's tested, but also maybe fight someone he's not even promoting, Ryan Garcia? Very weird. Bob Arum continues, says, Eddie Hearn may have mentioned it to me. We talk all the time, but he never really pursued it regarding Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez. He says, I think Eddie realizes that Haney has got to get tested first, the same way that Ryan Garcia was tested, and then he would realistically enter the picture for fights against Teofimo and Lomachenko. Wow. NBF is alive and well in 2021. I'm not trying to hear none of that, because at the end of the day, Devin Haney has a belt, and you could say whatever you want, but there's always going to be that asterisk based on how Teofimo got to his alleged undisputed. You can act like these things don't exist, or you could actually take care of the problem. Like if you slept with a chick and then all of a sudden you go home days later, when you go to pee, it burns, you probably should get that checked out. You could act like it's not burning and you're not getting a burning sensation when you urinate, but you should probably get that checked out. So as far as I'm concerned, Devin Haney and Teofimo need to fight. The ironic thing is Teofimo himself, ESPN telecast, Bob Arum, going around saying that Teofimo is undisputed, which is almost an oxymoron, because the actual term undisputed suggests that there is no argument. It's not debatable. It's irrefutable. It is just known, and there's no opposing argument. That's what undisputed means. I could pull up the actual definition. In fact, I will. Undisputed, adjective, not disputed or called in question. Accepted. For example, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Undoubted, similar synonyms. Undoubted, uncontested, unchallenged, unquestioned. These things do not apply to the whole situation. There are many fans, including myself, who feels the way the belt, with all the politics and landscape. I'm not going to get into a whole long drawn out. I talked about this. I went over the undisputed adjective, the meaning and definition per Oxford Language Dictionary, right? I've already went over this, but you guys get it. By nature of the word undisputed, you are not that, because you are being challenged. It isn't uncontested. Devin Haney was not afforded the opportunity to fight Lomachenko, who had the WBC vacant belt because Mikey Garcia vacated it in his efforts to move up and fight Errol Spence and fight guys at 140 or whatever. And now there's no clarity to the situation. The WBC has created collusion and confusion regarding these belts and administered and added new programs and franchise champions and stuff like that. So no matter what anybody says, including the WBC, they have created this loophole that has created a void and caused this concern and question. So Teofimo can't be undisputed by meaning of the word, right? Because again, synonyms would be unchallenged, uncontested, unquestioned. All these things don't apply because some people think Devin Haney can or will beat Teofimo. And they both have a version of a full WBC belt. So as long as that exists, it's like watching an old Western flick. The old Western flick, when there's two gunslingers in the saloon, and they say, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. So they step outside and they handle that. And they have to see who has the quickest fingers, the fastest hands in the West, and, take 50 paces and spin. And whoever gets clipped and shot, they weren't the one. You know what I'm saying? The Quick and the Dead. Great movie. Underrated movie, too, with Sharon Stone and Leonardo DiCaprio. But these are all examples of, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. Or what do you do when two people are claiming the same thing? That's exactly what's happening. We're not hearing this from Bill Haney. We're not hearing this from Devin Haney. We're hearing all this NBF talk from Top Rank, from Team Teofimo. Now, the other bad side is this. Teofimo just told you that he was sending a contract to two people. He did it on an Instagram Live. And I told you, the most dangerous thing is the camera and a microphone. And the social media era is getting some people in trouble because they're putting everything out there. And there's like post, promote, and stream, ask questions later. And Teofimo, since he now is on video, came out and said, I offered Devin Haney a fight and George Kambosos. Now you're starting to see that story is starting to drift away and shift. How did you send two contracts, one to Kambosos and one to Devin Haney, but then your own promoter is saying that Devin Haney is not even worthy of a fight with you until he completes some type of gauntlet that you normally see for black fighters, NBF. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you got to do more, you got to do. So George Kambosos, he could just do what he's done, come off 2 split decision wins where he barely won. You could even argue he lost to Mickey Bay, who's training Devin Haney. You could argue that he lost to Lee Selby. I definitely thought he lost that fight, right? And despite all that, he's done enough to get the fight, and other people like Nakatani, he's a solid guy. But at the time he fought Teofimo, nobody really even knew who he was. Right. So once again, you see boxing continue to play these games where other undeserving people get an opportunity. No problem. Like Canelo Yildirim. Right. He could just get an opportunity. But you mentioned the name Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez, like people who are actually the perception is they're better fights for Canelo. You hear all this hoopla about what they got to do, especially black fighters like Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, right? You hear that constant, do this, and they need to fight each other and rule one person out, and then you get and there's no guarantee in that. if Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade fought in some style tournament and beat each other up, and then one person wins, there's no guarantee that Canelo fought the winner, you know? And it's the same situation with Teofimo. Why does Devin Haney, like Bob Arum keeps mentioning Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell, right? But it's just, the story's all over the place. Teo said he sent Devin a contract as well as Camboso's. Now we're finding out that that was cap because your own promoter, again, as I just mentioned, is telling you that we're not even looking at him because he needs to do more, you know? And as far as what Teofimo previously said, he said something to the effect of all these guys had a chance to fight Loma and no one stepped up. That's inaccurate. Devin Haney wanted to fight Lomachenko, but guess what? They pulled this little game and they pulled this little charade and made him the franchise champion, just like Canelo. So both Canelo and Lomachenko, they got this get out of jail free card, and they got absolved of responsibility of even having a mandatory, both of which were black mandatories. Two black fighters, black American fighters, Jamal Charlo for Canelo, and then a black American fighter in Devin Haney. Those mandatories automatically got removed off the plate. When the WBC, if they truly wanted to be transparent and fair with the fans and fair with the fighters, what they could have done is said, hey, Canelo, on the books, you have to fight Jamal Charlo. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this new position, right? And I've said this for years, or as long as this has been going on, the franchise thing. We're going to make this new position. The winner of Jamal Charlo and Canelo is so noteworthy that the winner, doesn't have any more mandatories after that point. Then at least we can see you're at least trying to be somewhat fair with the implementation of this new franchise champion designation title mumbo jumbo, right? Or Lomachenko, you have to fight your mandatory Devin Haney. The winner of that fight will then go on to be, if we're trying to be fair, they become the franchise champion. Then it wouldn't have been a problem. But what happened in real time is Canelo and Lomachenko got awarded and rewarded and appointed these franchise champions, and then all of a sudden their plate got wiped off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a Steven Spielberg or a famous director, and he says, cancel all my meetings for the day. I'm going out, you know, I'm going on vacation. That's the same kind of concept. You have all these scheduled meetings with powerful executives and Hollywood representatives and stockbrokers or whatever, and then he's having a bad day, so he just says, cancel that. I'm going golfing. That's what these fighters have done with the implementation of the franchise champion. Cancel all my meetings, cancel all my appointments. You know, you were supposed to fight your mandatory, but now all of a sudden you don't have to fight him, and you get removed from having to fight a mandatory, which is BS. So once again, it's more stuff. I'd be surprised if Top Rank makes Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson next, because that NBF list looked crazy, and it looks like it's alive and well in 2021. Just look at it. Bob Arum is telling you that Devin Haney got to do more, but once again, so many loopholes to what's being said. Bob Arum also has a recent interview where he said that Devin Haney is an option for Lomachenko. So Lomachenko came off a loss, but you built him up as this Muhammad Ali. So how is Devin Haney eligible to fight Lomachenko but not Teofimo? You know what I mean? So he has to do more to fight Teofimo, even though that would remove all doubts as to who's undisputed. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, this is a terrible look, because this won't just go away. Teofimo is saying that he might do a fight with Camboso and maybe move up and fight the winner, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. I mean, enjoy. Good luck with that. But that, to me, is not undisputed in two divisions. So, I don't see why a fighter would even want that without having the proper closure. It's like, would you want to just break up with a girl and then neither one of you guys text each other, and then it's just assumed you haven't talked to her in a month, so it's assumed you guys are broken up, but you have no actual words with that, no dialogue, no closure to actually, you know, officially wrap it up? to me, that's not good. But that's what I guess Teofimo wants, is he doesn't care about the confusion that people have, that Devin Haney could possibly beat you, or you're not undisputed until you fight Devin. He's just saying, I'm undisputed, printing up shirts from Teespring or whatever. And then ESPN and everybody else associated is just running with it. So, I mean, good luck. I just think it's a bad representation for the sport of boxing, because as a true competitor, this is still a sport. LeBron James wants to prove that he's the best player in the league. Kobe Bryant especially, rest in peace, Black Mamba. He definitely wanted to prove that he was the illest, 5 rings. Like, I'm going heads up. I'm going heads up with whoever. I'm that dude. You know what I mean? Teofimo's saying it, and he's a good fighter, but he's also saying, I sent a contract, and then your promoter saying Devin's not even ready and all. It's just the same stuff over and over. But here's the thing. The last thing I'll leave you guys with. If Bob Arum truly in his heart of all hearts believed that Devin Haney was this inexperienced, and the fans are clamoring for, salivating for, and asking you for the fight, and Devin was untested, and you really felt that he was, no bueno, he just really wasn't good and he wasn't untested, then that should give you even more confidence to put your tested guy, Teofimo Lopez, who just beat Lomachenko, who you raved about for years, in the ring with him. Because now he would whoop Devin Haney, because Devin Haney's quote-unquote untested, if this is what you believe. So Mr. Tested gets to fight Mr. Untested, and then he just takes his belt and consolidates that belt. You're truly undisputed now. Boom, boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. But once again, boxing likes to play this charade, and boxing likes to play this game where they'll say one thing and tell you that Devin Haney, a black fighter in America, is untested, but they won't actually show you. You know what I mean? I've said it for years. LSI, let's see it. They say beating certain guys is like taking candy from a baby. So why don't you schedule that fight with that baby and take the candy? Like, it makes no sense. So people oftentimes tell you one thing, but their actions, it is their actions that is going to show you how they really view and feel. Like, there's a difference between true, real confidence, unwavering confidence, and somebody trying to appear confident. Like, you look at them and their hands are shaking, or they're sweating, or, just these little telltale signs. Maybe they're not as confident as they're putting on. People like to put on a show, and that's what we see in boxing. This guy's weak, this guy's untested, but we won't test him and get that easy work and take candy from a baby. We'll just tell you he's untested, hoping that someone else beats him, or hoping that, at least some chinks in his armor will be discovered when he fights someone else that's pretty tough, so we can formulate a game plan to prosper against this person. That's what this is about. The other thing is, if Devin Haney is so untested and, not necessarily good enough and all this, why did Bob Arum want to sign Devin Haney? Top Rank was interested in signing Devin Haney. So obviously at a young age, they seen a talent in the kid, you know what I mean? Because why would you want someone on your team that's garbage? So if you were trying to sign Errol Spence and Devin Haney, you can't say. Now Bob Arum is saying Errol Spence is afraid of Crawford and all this, but you was trying to sign him. So, you can't go that far to act like people are garbage when your own roster was trying to, sign and include these people. We Unpack, coming to you live. Smash the like button.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.